Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In the last video I have discussed the background of the poem The Way Spain Was by Pablo Neruda, and in this video I am going to do the line by line discussion of the poem. So let's get started. Let's start the first stanza of the poem. It goes, Spain was a taut, dry drum head, daily beating a dull thud. Spain was a taut. Taut means stretched out or pulled tight. Means Spain was under pressure. Why? Why it was under pressure? It was under pressure because of the civil war. That's why it says Spain was a taut. Means Spain was in a great pressure in the days of the war. Dry drum head. Dry. Now Spain is dry. Why? Because there is no cultivation now. The land is dry now. The civil war ruined the village in this way that there is no cultivation now. Dry drumhead daily beating a dull thud. The village is like a drum head now. Means inside of it there is nothing, there is emptiness. That's why it is saying drum head. And if we beat the drum head, then it makes the dull sound only. There is no music left in the country. Now comes the third line. Flatlands and eagle's nest, silence lashed by the storm. Flatlands means the plain lands, means the ground level, and the eagle's nest means the higher land, means the higher level. Basically, eagles make their nest on the top of the hill or on the top of the tree. So flatlands and eagle's nest means from the ground level to the higher level. Silence lashed by the storm. All over the land now only silence prevails. Storm means the civil war. The poet now describes his love for the country, his love for Spain. He says, how much the point of weeping in my soul. Means his soul cries out by seeing the condition of Spain at present, which is now completely devastated by war. He says, I love your hard soil, your poor bread, your poor people. Means hard soil means which there is no cultivation now, the soil which cannot cultivate anymore. So whether your people are poor, whether your bread are poor, whether your soil is hard, nothing matters to me. I love whatever you have. I love you very much. So this is the emotion. Motionless in time. means the civil war has affected the land so much that it cannot stand up again. It became motionless, it became so much devastated, and your metallic meadows stretched out in the moonlight through the edges. Meadows means the green land, the stretched green land. So these meadows are called metallic. Why? Because in the full night, when the moonlight reflects on the ground, on the meadows, it shows the color of metal. That's why it is said the metallic meadows. This is one meaning, and another meaning would be the land is now ruined. There is no cultivation, as said before, the hard soil. So there is no cultivation means there is no greenery left now. That's why it the meadows doesn't look green now. It looks like the metal. Now devoured by a false god. We know that in case of the spelling of god, we always use capital G, but in this case here there is small g. Why? Because the poet is not going to give the supreme power to the god who is creating this kind of devastation, this kind of destructive incident. That's why he said false god, means the god cannot be so ruthless. It is false god, that's why he has done this kind of destruction. Here false god refers to the power that took part in the civil war, means because of whom it happened, the civil war happened. Those are referred as false god. All your confinement, your animal isolation, while you are still conscious, surrounded by the abstract stones of silence, your rough wine, your smooth wine, your violent and dangerous vineyards. So, all your confinement means the people in the days of war, the people are confined. Your animal isolation, people are isolated from the whole world, means when the war happens, when the war was going on, then all the people of this land were confined and they were isolated from the whole world. While you are still conscious, surrounded by the abstract stones of silence. Here the poet says the positive thing is, though you are surrounded by the stones of silence. Why the stones of silence? Previously I have already said that their silence prevails because the war has created that kind of trauma in the mind of the people that they cannot even talk, they cannot even express their thoughts. That's why the stone of silence prevails in the land. The poet there says, though you are silent now, but the positive thing is you are still conscious, means you can think still, you have your consciousness still alive. Your rough wine, your smooth wine, your violent and dangerous vineyards. Here the poet used the word wine and vineyards because Spain is famous for its well produced wine. He remembers the Spanish life, the good side of it and the bad side of it, how much he remember. So in the second stanza, the poet upholds the idea that though the people are in confinement now, not only the physical confinement, it is the mental confinement also. So though the people are confined and isolated now, still they are conscious, means still there is hope. Now comes the third stanza. Stars, solar stone, pure among the regions of the world. Solar stone means the stone which has the power to emit the sunlight. So Spain is compared to solar stone, which is very unique. That means Spain means the land is very much unique. It is pure among the regions of the world. It is very much pure, means it is unique in the world. Spain streaked with blood and metal, blue and victorious proletarian Spain, made of petals and bullets, unique, alive, asleep, resounding. The poet describes that Spain is very much unique. Why? Because it is covered, streaked means covered. It is covered with blood and metal. Blood means the youth and metal means the weapons. Spain is full of blood and metal, means it is well equipped now, blue and victorious. The Spain is victorious. And the poet says proletarian Spain. Proletariat Spain. Proletariat means the working class people or the labor class people. See, the base of a society stands upon the proletariat, means the working class people or the labor class people builds a society. And made of petals and bullets means it has petals as well as bullets. Petals, think a flower. In a flower there are lots of petals and the petals beautifies the flower. Likewise, in a society there are huge number of proletariat people, means the working class people. They build the society and they beautifies the society. So the poet wants to say that the Spain which is now streaked with youth proletariat people and which is now well equipped, it is victorious now. It is now made up of petals and bullets. That means they are now well equipped to fight back. That's why in the last line the poet shows a ray of hope. It is unique, alive, asleep, resounding. Spain is unique in the world. It is alive. Why? Why it is alive? Because it still has the consciousness. It is asleep but not completely in a sleeping mood. It is resounding, means it echoes. So in the last stanza of the poem, the poet describes that the Spain is now well equipped. It can now fight back. It has still consciousness in it. So there is no point of weeping anymore. Thanks for watching, and if you like my channel then please subscribe it and follow the next videos.